Hey everybody, welcome to the National Signing Day podcast. I'm your host, Coach Martin, and today we're talking about 3 questions that you need to ask your coach. So right now in sports, football season's wrapping up. So we got playoffs coming all over the country. If you're a senior, hopefully you've already been recruited. If you haven't been recruited and you're a senior, this is the time where people start freaking out because you only have a few months left. You're like, oh man, are all the scholarships already gone? No, they're not already gone, but it's getting down to the nitty gritty. So especially if you're a senior, you need to start contacting these coaches. And I'm going to give you 3 questions, 3 solid questions that you're going to want to ask every coach that you're going to contact. So get ready, get some paper, get a pen. I want you to write these down. So number 1, so the one question you're going to ask the coach is, what are you looking for in a new recruit? So this should be really your first question that you're going to ask them. Now, the cool thing about this question is they're going to not only give you their take on it, but let's say if you talk to 5 or 10, you're going to get a lot of overlap. Now, all of a sudden, if you have 7 coaches that are telling you the same thing of what they're looking for in a new recruit, then moving forward, that's probably what you need to be, right? You need to focus on that. You need to make sure that, that relates to you. So what are you looking for in a new recruit? They're going to give you that information. Maybe they're looking for somebody that displays leadership on a whole nother level. Maybe they're looking for somebody that, is never going to give up, somebody that's positive. Maybe they're looking for somebody that even if they don't have playing time, they're going to be the encourager on the bench, right? Whatever that case is, you're going to want to write it down. So write down the answers to this. And then as you start talking to, again, multiple coaches, make sure you take a look at all of them and see if there's overlap. The second question is, what does a typical day look like of one of your student athletes? So when you're an athlete at that next level, it's almost like having a full-time job. It really is. So between studying, between working out, between, practices, there's a lot that goes on there. So make sure you ask them and find out, what does it look like with a typical day of one of your student athletes? You're going to want to write that down. Now, one of the reasons why I want you to do that is not only to find out, what their day looks like but are you able to handle that? So if they give you a list of things that have to be done by a typical athlete or what they expect from one of their typical athletes, and you can't do that, then maybe that school's not going to be a good fit for you. So you're going to want to find out, listen to the coach, write it down, and then ask yourself, are you able to perform all of those tasks? Right? If the answer is yes, then keep them on your list. If the answer is no, take them off your recruitment board. And finally, ask the coach, if I believe I'm a good fit for your program, what would be my next steps? So you're going to want to end it with this one. This is a good one. So coach, if I feel that I'm really a good fit for your program, what would be my next steps? You're going to want to frame it like that, and then they're going to tell you what you need to do next. And you're going to write that down. And whatever they say, you're going to make sure that you follow that to the T. They're going to tell you what that process looks like and what they expect. So make sure that you follow that process. Be respectful. But that is a super, super, super important one. So make sure you're doing these three questions. Now, I'm going to give you 2 bonuses. This is free. I'm not even going to charge you for this one. So the 2 questions that you never, ever ask. Number 1. How much scholarship money, coach, can you give away? Never ask that question, right? You don't even discuss that. That's not your business. That's his business. And you don't need to be asking that. So when it comes to scholarship money and how much they can offer, don't even bring that up, right? Now, as you guys get closer and now he calls you and she calls you and you're in a conversation about getting recruited, then it could come up. But at this stage, right, it doesn't come up. Number 2, the final one is, how come you've never reached out to me? So let's say as an example, you've emailed this coach 4 times. Let's say you've reached out to the coach on X. You've basically stalked for the most part, and the coach has never reached out. You do not want to come at him or her and ask why they've never reached out. They're busy. And they're dealing with hundreds and hundreds of athletes. They probably get 100 emails a day. Now, with that being said, don't use that as an excuse not to email. Well, why should I do it if 100 other people do it? No, you need to do it anyways. But you don't want to ask the coach those 2 questions. So never, ever, ever ask the coach those 2 questions. So stick with the first 3. Keep it super simple. Learn from the different coaches that answer those questions. and start becoming that guy or girl that is like an embodiment of those 3 questions. And you're going to have much, much more success. So listen, if we can help you, it's not too late until it's too late. And the good news is right now, it's not too late. So there's still an offer out there for you. You just got to make sure you get in front of the right people. You give them the right message. And then ultimately what we want is to see you get recruited. So if we can help you in any way, shape, or form, make sure you visit us at the National Signing Day Podcast. Make sure you follow us on social. Be sure to share our information with your family and friends. And if you need help, don't hesitate to ask for help. Reach out on the website. Until next time, I'm Coach Martin. See you next time.